Humble my game, yeah. Family friendly. I play the game, yeah. And touch the milli.
Get your exclusive Ecomi, VeVe, and Omi merch at CavellAnderson.com. Limited edition 100 items drop while supplies last.
They got them dizzy. We pass the moon, yo. We gon' keep winning. Red dreams come true. For me and you. Ecomi did it, yeah. With the crew.
All right, y'all. So it has been some time since this interview came out, but you're going to see some gems in this interview that's really going to shock you. So what's crazy is you oftentimes go back after you know a ton of information, after you have seen the progress and seen some of the stuff that's happened, you go back and hear some stuff that was said in the past, and it just resonates a lot more because now you have more information. You can understand stuff that you may not have understood at the time when it first came out. Like when David Yu was talking about other projects burning the Omi token, technically he said that like a month plus ago. He said that a while ago. He was talking about that, but nobody really caught it. It wasn't a big deal. I think I made probably one video on it at the time, but it wasn't a huge deal. But now, like, because it's been said again, now this time it's really getting picked up around the community. People are actually understanding how impactful that is. So we're gonna check out one of these interviews from the past that he's done. And a lot of stuff that he says may surprise you. You may not remember, or you may not have saw this all together. So we're going to be checking this out. Let's just jump straight into it, y'all.
Name on the stream. Dave, just say NFT in the New Zealand accent. Let the guys hear it.
NFT.
You see, I mean, I can't do that. Okay. So guys, this mofo over here, I used to see him at every single conference. Dave, what's the time, bro?
3:45 in the morning.
3:45 in the morning, the guy, I mean, stays up to be on crypto banter. That's the nature of the beast that you're dealing with here. And only this guy could.
And keep in mind, this interview is from March. I just want to let you know that this interview is from March. And what's interesting about that is David is actually going to go over a little bit of the numbers and how VeVe was one of the top apps at this time. So VeVe has maintained its spot as one of the top most dominant apps in the store, one of the top most dominant cryptos in the space. It has maintained these levels of success for a decent amount of time now. Like it's maintained these levels of success, and people really kind of sleep on just how successful this company is and how they've maintained this success. And the key thing is they have yet to release so many key things. So imagine a company not releasing, like, and what they spent their time on is actually amazing. It's mind-blowing what they've been able to accomplish, because while it's not the token utility and stuff like this that everyone wanted, it took them longer than people wanted to even put out articles. While it's not these things that people wanted, what they have been able to accomplish is more licensing. And then they took an app built for 65,000 people, and it's able to fit 2 million people downloading and 1.1 million active. Like it's absolutely insane that they've been able to accomplish this in such a short time. But because it's not the thing that people wanted to be focusing on, people kind of try to downplay what's happening with this company. This company has maintained its levels consistently when it comes down to the App Store. It's maintained its levels with the token, and it's continuing to build out, grow, and expand drastically. So don't sleep on what's going on with this project. It's very easy to fall into the bearish mindset and talk about all the flaws and stuff like that. But in the minds of business and everything else, and like in reality, this is far from even anywhere close to bearish. They're doing stuff that's still unheard of. Even just the licensing in their partnerships, it's insane.
Build what he's built since 2017. So Dave, tell us what you've built. I know a lot of people don't know what Ecomi is. Just give us a little background of what you've built. Fred, you can also play some videos when he talks. It'll be like amazing. You know, it'll be him talking, you playing videos. Perfect combination.
Thanks, Ren. So we've been working on this project since 2017. Myself and Daniel, my co-founder, COO. Now, we really believe in this new space of digital asset and this NFT project that we put together. So VeVe is the name of the app. It's pretty much in the beta live right now in your Google and Apple store. And what we have done is we have collected over 100 brands from some of the world's top studios to be involved in this project.
And so at this point in time, he was talking about over 100 brands. As of recently, I think that somebody questioned him about like 1,000 or something like that, and he said we're not quite there yet. I'm pretty sure. I forgot the context of that one. Like I said, I watch way too much videos. I make too many videos. Yeah, I don't remember the exact context, but I'm pretty sure he was addressed about 1,000, and he said we're not quite there yet, but I think we're over 300 brands strong right now for sure. So
what we wanted to do is the 25 years I've been in the retail gaming industry and bringing that all into the digital realm, basically in the collectible aspect of it.
So you got rights to do over 25 brands, to do the NFTs for over 25 brands. You started to get these rights.
Over 100 brands now.
Over 100 brands now. And
yes.
You started to get these rights before anybody was talking about NFTs. In fact, I remember this. And
Yeah.
just maybe tell the viewers, maybe mention some of the names that you've got.
So we got Warner Brother DC, we got Universal, we got CBS Star Trek, we got NFLPA. We recently announced GM just joined on. I mean, they're Tokidoki, Cartoon Network. I mean, the list goes on.
Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman, Harley Quinn. Yeah, and we got Sony, Ghostbusters on there. And I think this week we're dropping the first appearance of Ultraman into digital format. I mean, we actually have to restrict region, so hopefully you guys stay up at I think dropping at Thursday 7 a.m. PST time.
So am I right to say that you guys have got more NFT rights than any other project in the world today?
Yeah, I would like to think so. We start collecting this about 2017 for 18 months. We kept our project so quiet, no one even heard of us, and I guess that's one of the problem that you couldn't raise money because no one make any noise.
This is key. I was just talking to someone on Twitter. They were kind of upset that we haven't heard anyone hint at using the Omi token or anything like that. And as you can see, this company has a history of keeping things under wraps, but it's kind of hard to argue with the results. Like, look at what that's led to. Them not showing their whole hand, them being in these tight NDAs where they can't talk about things and mention things before they come. They are a legal focused company. They make sure everything that they do is in compliance. And you can see the results from doing it this way. They're literally able to compete or be above Disney Plus, who has over 100 million users. Like they're literally, and at this time, I'm pretty sure David's going to go into it, how they're below these people. And now, a few months later, we're ahead. It just goes to show you, like, it's hard to argue with these results. Obviously, people want more token movements and things like that. People want to see more from the token, especially if you didn't get in and you're not one of the lucky few that benefited from this 15,000% move. Obviously, you want to see some of the movement since it hasn't really moved substantially since most people have got in. But at the exact same time, you have to be patient. You can't knock what this company has been able to do because you can see what they have done. You can see this. So don't fudge your own project because you're feeling emotional and upset right now. Realize that when this is going to keep going. Like, if this is clearly not a primary investment for a lot of people, or not. I'm not going to say not a primary investment, but not an investment that a lot of people can handle during a bull run, because you're going to pay attention to all the noise going on around you. Each shitcoin pumping and stuff like that is going to make a lot of noise. People are going to be super excited. Oh, I'm making so much money. And yes, the fact is people get excited about this short-term money, but keep this in mind. Before Amazon pumped, that whole time Amazon was there struggling and Amazon was stagnant and Amazon wasn't really pumping or anything, there was a bunch of projects that was pumping. There was a bunch of projects getting these short-term gains, pumping, doing really, really well. And look at who won out in the end. Who won out in the end was the Amazon investors that stuck through and held the whole time. So, I mean, it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. So
we kept our project so quiet, no one even heard of us. And I guess that's one of the problem that you couldn't raise money because no one make any noise. We were under strict NDA with a lot of our licensors where, we couldn't talk about it until we're ready to go to market.
And this is why you would not hear a company hinting at using the Omi token. He just explained that they use strict NDAs. They're always in compliance. They're following the rules. They do this the proper way. They do this the right way because unlike other crypto projects that know they're not going to be around in X amount of years from now, this is a company being built to last 10, 20, 30 plus years. This is a company built to last forever, like as long as possible, unlike a lot of the companies out here. So you can't hold them to the same standard when you see these companies popping up looking like, oh, that looks promising, when every rug pull that's happened this year, they all look promising. You gotta put things into perspective.
And now the app is on the stores, and we're getting fantastic amount of traction. I think I was just checking the numbers before I came onto your show. We're sitting about 80 to 90,000 users, and we're growing about 3,000 to 4,000 users per day. And it's priced Google Play ranking store as the top grossing entertainment app. I mean, Google Play Store has over 3 million apps, right, combined with Apple and all that. Our top 5 market, so in US, we are number 8 in US, number 3 in UK, number 3 in Canada, number 3 in Australia. And
what's crazy is this was March. Keep this in mind. Let that register. This was in March. And if you look today, VeVe is even higher up than it was then. VeVe has only gone up. VeVe has historically gone up. So regardless of all the problems, all the bots and stuff like that, anything people want to talk about, VeVe has improved this entire time. But people aren't looking at that because people are only looking in the crypto space, not realizing that this is a successful company in the real world. So when they finally attach that link to the crypto, bro, the rest is history.
And this is after like Disney Plus, Twitch, and then there's VeVe. So, he
said there was Disney Plus, Twitch, and VeVe. And now VeVe is already swapped to the top of that list. Crazy.
This company has 100 million subscribers, and we have 90,000.
So this is the incredible thing. I mean, I'm excited about the rights, but I'm more excited about the fact that you're actually allowing people to do in-app purchases on your app. So you can actually buy what looks like tokens, but I don't know if it feels like it's not tokens. It feels like you're just buying a currency, and you can do an in-app purchase of an NFT. Now, I must say, I haven't seen any other company in the world allow you to do an in-app purchase of an NFT. Not talk to you about private keys, not talk to you about public keys, not talk to you about registering a wallet, not taking your credit card. Click, and you've got your NFT.
Well, we really believe the forefront of this NFT world will be a mass market. So when we set to build this whole app, it's all about, number one, the experience. So the experience of how people onboard, how they purchase, and the utility of their NFT, what they're going to do with it. You're seeing a picture of a DeLorean where you could augment it out. You can walk in it. You can take a photo. You use one of our filters and post it on your social feed. And that's what we really believe, that to get mass adoption in the NFT, you really need to have these experience and easy to use. And the crypto and the blockchain is really just in the background of it.
Okay, now.
So as you can see, based on this explanation, he's like, this was in March. He's telling you straight up, what's the priority? He just said straight up out of his own mouth, the priority is VeVe. The priority is VeVe because the crypto side is just really going to be running on the background. They want to onboard mass amounts of people, and crypto is it's not mass people friendly. It's just not. It's going to be mass people friendly if banks stop working or something like that, and people are going to have to be forced to get into it in order to get their money. That's a completely different story. That's a completely different situation. But as it stands, as long as the world stays how it is, people are not just going to be diving into crypto just like they don't just dive into the stock market. But VeVe is something that anyone can and does dive into. They have legitimate reasons to want to dive into this. So this right here says the priority. This tells you the priority. I did make a tweet about VeVe not spelling everything out, but it's not spelled out, but you have to be able to hear what someone is saying. If something is in the background, that's going to be the thing that you work on last, which is the Omi token. This is why we're just now starting to get around to the Omi token, because they needed to take an app from being able to fit 65,000 people to be able to fit millions of people. That's not an easy process to do. That's almost impossible, especially to continue to maintain drops and stuff like that while you're scaling the app. That's not very easy to do at all. So Just stay woke. Stay woke. Keep this stuff in mind, man. Like all the information about this project has been here. So everyone flooding it. This is why I'm so quick to say people don't do their research. People are not educated and things like that, because the information is right here coming from the CEO himself. He tells everyone. He tells this.
One thing I did notice is that for now, the NFTs that I buy on your app, I can't send out of your app. So once the NFT lives in the app, it feels like you can't send the NFT out of the app. Is that intentional?
Yes. So right now, we are looking at a number of options. So a couple of things. We want to ensure that the security aspect, the chain that we're on, we possibly be moving to something a bit more suitable for NFT.
So this was before Immutable was even announced. This was before Immutable was announced. They were looking for options. They were trying to figure out a chain that could handle this. And obviously, it's not as simple as saying, oh, that's a blockchain. We want to be on that one. Let's go jump straight in. They had to talk to hundreds of different licenses and IP about moving blockchains and taking the assets somewhere else and stuff like this. It's not as easy as being able to move how some of these other projects can move when you have a bunch of IPs and stuff that's just brand new. You're creating it. You create the rules for it. They don't create the rules for their IP. They have to convince a bunch of people who have seen old generations change over and over. They have to first off convince these people thinking through the old eyes that this new world is going to benefit from NFTs and stuff like this. It's just a whole different process. Somebody who's creating an NFT project from scratch is much more likely to move faster than someone who has to convince people to begin with that NFTs are going to be good for the future. It's like it's different. It's different, and people are not factoring that in. Yes, VeVe has its pros, but it also has its cons. If you want things to be super fast on one front, especially when it comes to doing things with the IP, I mean, it's not as simple as something that you just created that had no value before and you're purely designing it to be a new school thing. It's different. It's a whole different, the whole different process.
We're investigating all the options. And once once we get through this process, we'll start opening up certain license to be sent out. Inside the app, we do have a marketplace, and the marketplace is coming back up online, I think, in the next 48 hours to some of our beta testers. We just want to make sure that it's robust and can handle the loading. We were definitely not expecting to have this type of growth. I think just looking at the quarter, we grew about 12,000% in both users and sales.
Sure. Well, that's part of the NFT explosion.
So we've done over 150,000 collectible 3D sculptures sold since we launched.
That's cute. Ain't we like over 2 million now? That's adorable.
If you convert that into toy terms and sculpture and deliverable into shops, that's about 200 containers of shipments.
So you've produced 150,000 NFTs.
No, we produced about 180,000. We sold about 150,000 of that already.
Who's producing these NFTs? I mean, is it you guys producing the NFTs? Is it the license holders producing the NFTs? Who's producing the NFTs?
Yeah, so we, as a company, we sign the rights. We basically set the primary market pricing. As you've probably seen, this image coming up, the Todd McFarlane Batman, this is sculpted and drawn by a famous DC artist, and one of my favorite artists, Todd McFarlane, who's a great comic. And now most of these are sculptured in 3D now. So we basically take the asset, we clean it up, and we optimize it for mobile use. And basically we mint it into the NFT or the blockchain and basically issue them, every single one with a serial number. And this is one of the, first appearance of Batman. So if you haven't got one, I think it's sold out anyway.
Fred, are you watching this? Fred, I mean, this is absolutely amazing. Look, we are running a little bit low on time, but I want to get into the nuts and bolts. So when I did some project research, your token is currently living on GoChain. Am I right?
That's correct.
And your token is moving to Uniswap, I think in a few days.
We're moving at the end of this month, so I think it's next Wednesday. And one of the main reasons is Uniswap is doing an upgrade. We just want to see how everything goes, and we'll be live by end of this month.
Okay, now what is the logic for being on GoChain? Why not go onto Ethereum or one of the more used blockchains? It kind of feels like, to me, I mean, I know the guys from GoChain. To me, it feels like GoChain is a ghost town. I'm not sure that I'd be putting one of the best NFT projects on GoChain.
Yes. So, we talked about it 3 years ago. No one really, well, 3.5 years ago now. The technology fit for our purpose back then, and it was very, very cheap. And the hybrid, having the sidechain helping us a lot. And we are looking, and we have been actively, talking to a number of parties who has approached us recently about, moving to other chains. And, we can't speculate what we're going to be doing. We will be announcing in our monthly catch up with everyone and update. So, yeah, hopefully you'll see some big news in that.
So keep in mind how they have stepped it up. They went from doing monthly updates to now they do it almost weekly. I mean, now they're pushing things back a little bit more because the community starts to get a little crazy. But yeah, they even it was an uptick in the amount of work that they were doing, uptick in scaling the platform, and then they started being on the camera in front of the community and letting people know stuff a lot more frequently. It's like everything just enhanced, and people really sleep on this. I guess a lot of people weren't around during these times to experience this stuff, so they don't know just how, they don't see all the good. They only hear the negative because people are more open and outspoken about the negative than they are about the positives.
Amazing. I mean, how do you launch a GoChain token on Uniswap though? Or does Uniswap, because the EVM is the same, does Uniswap actually support GoChain tokens?
Yes, so there's a wrap on it right now,
okay.
and that's how we're going to be doing it. So I think a website will be launched for you to do this wrap and swap over.
Okay, now the community are here, and in the chat they're saying, ask about Pokemon. This is your chance to ask about Pokemon. What am I supposed to ask about Pokemon? Like, everyone here is saying, ask about Pokemon. Is Pokemon coming?
We do have a library of content that is going to fill out basically this whole entire year. We are talking to many other license, including all the animation house, gaming house, especially the last fortnight, the amount of attention we got. And recently,
did you say Fortnite? What?
The last fortnight, the animation house, gaming house, especially the last fortnight, the amount of attention we got, and recently we've been a lot of press. So I can't speculate who's coming on. We do have very strict NDA. I love Pokemon. I started selling Pokemon in 1998 when they first become trading card. Brought it down to New Zealand as the first distributor for Pokemon cards.
So as you can see, he's going through the story about how he loves Pokemon, but again, they go back to being under strict NDA.
And I think a lot of speculation is because we also have a quite legendary advisor, and also, one of my close friend, Al Khan, who's been involved with Pokemon for many years of his career. So I think a lot of speculation is around the amount of people that we have working in Pokemon, and I love Pokemon. I think a year and a half ago, I sent my Pokemon card to space, so it came back down.
I wonder was SpaceX involved in that.
Love it, and we will work hard to get Pokemon on board, and we'll see.
Alrighty, Dave, thank you so much. Thanks for staying up for us, man. Listen, I salute you, brother.
So he said they'll try to get Pokemon on board, which, I mean, if you can't reveal something because of an NDA, what else are you going to say? So yeah, this one's just looking back. We had a few nuggets here and a little bit of information that I found very interesting. Let me know if you felt the same about it. Like I said, just looking back, it's always a treat watching some of this stuff back. now that we have new information, now that we've seen how far it's come, because you can kind of appreciate where we are a little bit more based on where we were and where we've been. So yeah, let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out, y'all.